Hillary Clinton actually proposed a fairly progressive tax here, so Reuters breaks it down for us. Hillary Clinton on Thursday proposed raising taxes on inherited property to 65% for the largest estates. Known by conservative opponents as the death tax, the estate tax levied on property such as cash, real estate, stock, or other assets transferred from the deceased persons to heirs currently is imposed only on inherited assets worth $5.45 million or more for an individual. All right, let me just pause there real quick. So there's going to be a lot of people on the right who criticize this without having any fucking clue how it works. Because what they'll hear is, 65% tax? That's crazy! Government's going to take 65% of my money! Okay, hold on. Did you read the details? Of course you didn't read the details. The details show that's for people, by the way, not just who make over $5.45 million. That's just when the estate tax kicks in, as I'm going to get to here. When you get to that highest rate, you got to make over $500 million. So you have to have over $500 million, I should say. So in other words, when they say a 65% tax, they ain't talking about you, number one. Number two, they're only talking about people who have over $500 million. Number three, they're only talking about a 65% rate on everything above $500 million. You understand that? So in other words, it's not like, okay, it's $500 million, so the government's going to take, what, $300 million or so of that money? No. They're saying everything above $500 million that they have is taxed at 65%. The idea that somebody could be against this on the grounds of, like, you got to look out for the people, you know what I'm saying? No. This is actually looking out for the people way more than not having it. All right, let me give you more. They say Clinton's plan, posted on her campaign's website, would raise the estate tax from the current 40% to 45%, the rate that existed in 2009, but the biggest estates would face rates of up to 65% for property valued at more than $500 million for a single person or $1 billion per couple. Now they go on to say her proposal raises $260 billion over a decade, which is nothing to scoff at. That's very positive, a good way to raise revenue by taxing mega-rich dead people. And they also say, quote, only the estates of the wealthiest 0.2% of Americans currently owe any estate tax because the first $5.45 million per person is exempt. Clinton would lower that exemption to $3.5 million. Okay, again, so let me break that down for you. As of right now, if your parents are somehow worth $5 million, hey, credit to you, man. Lucky you. Guess what? There is no estate tax that affects you. It doesn't affect you in any way. At all. At all. So they die, boom, you get that money. That simple. It only kicks in if they have over $5.45 million, which is only 0.2% of the country. So if somebody's parents die and they have $10 million and they pass it down to them, well, everything over $5.45 million is taxed at, what was the rate? 40%. So again, it's not like you're taking people, normal people, middle-class people, even upper-middle-class people, and taking their money when they die. That's not the case at all. And it's not even like you're taking rich people when they die and they try to pass on the wealth to their kids, that you're taking them from being rich to making them poor. That's not the case either. You're taking them from being massively rich to still being rich. Oh, the tyranny! Oh, the tyranny. And the upside is $260 billion raised over a decade. The estate tax is, without question, in my opinion, the best tax that there is. Take mega-rich dead people. They're still going to let their kids be rich and have enough money that their parents could just pass on to them, but you're making it more reasonable. You're saying, oh, okay, so you have $600 million? How about you have a little bit less than $600 million because you didn't do dick for that money and your parents did it? And what are you, Paris Hilton? And that's what it is. This kind of a tax only affects the Paris Hiltons of the world, and it's the Paris Hiltons who, instead of being super duper 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 rich, they're just going to be super duper duper rich. To be against this is beyond ridiculous. Like, you've bought into goofy propaganda if you're against this. And in other words, you're a useful puppet of the elite, the establishment, and the mega rich. So look, honestly, the only reasonable criticism I see of this plan from Hillary Clinton is somebody saying you should go further. That's a reasonable criticism, I think. But for people who say, oh, that goes too far, shut the fuck up. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard, you silly bitch. That's beyond ridiculous. And I give her credit, too, for dropping that number from $5.45 million. Used to be the line where the estate tax kicks in and everything above $5.45 million is taxed. She wants to lower it to $3.5 million. I think that's great, too. And by the way, this is a plan that was modeled after Bernie Sanders' plan. So understand, man, we come out here all the time and we rip Hillary Clinton a new asshole, and I'm going to continue to do it when she's wrong, as she often is. But on this particular issue, I think she's fantastic. Now, what's Donald Trump's plan for this? Eliminate the estate tax. What a surprise. A guy whose daddy had over $250 million happens to be against the estate tax. He would have inherited more if there was no estate tax. His spoiled punk bitch ass would have been an even bigger spoiled punk bitch ass. So he wanted that silver spoon in his mouth to be larger. So this is not, there are many areas where you could say there's a genuine equivalence between how shitty Donald Trump is and how shitty Hillary Clinton is. This indeed is not one. Donald Trump is way, 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 way worse. And I would even say Hillary Clinton's plan is pretty good.